Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 2770. Maximum number of jumps to reach the last index. This is a medium problem and the key to solve it is dynamic programming, so let's start. We are given an integer array nums and an integer target, so let's say that we are given this input. We start at index 0 and we need to reach the last index. Now, in one step we can jump from the current index up to another index such that the new index is to the right of the current index and the difference between the new value and the current value is in between target and minus target. Remember that we are given target. So we need to get the maximum number of jumps that we can make to reach the last index. And if there's no way to reach the last index, we return -1. So we start from index 0 and we are trying to reach the last index. We have a few choices here. We could go from 0 to 1 because the difference between these two numbers is 2 and 2 is in between target and minus target. So this is a valid jump. We could go from 0 to 4 also because the difference between 1 and 1 is 0 and 0 is in between 2 and -2 also. And we could go from 0 to 5 because the difference here is 1 and this is in between 2 and -2 also. So we have three choices, which means that we can go from index 0 to the last index in only one jump. The problem is that we are trying to get the maximum number of jumps to go from the source to the destination. And here the result is 3. Why? Well, because we start from index 0. Then we can go to index 1. From index 1 we can go to index 3. And from 3 we can go to 5. The difference here is 2, here it's 1, and here it's 2. In every scenario, the difference is in between 2 and -2, and this happens to be the maximum number of jumps to reach the destination, so the result is 3. And just to be clear, if we go from 0 to 4, then we can't go back to 1, for example. Why? Well, because here the difference is in the range, but we can't go back to previous indices. This is very important. Remember that we can only jump forward. The key observation to solve this is that at each step we might have different choices. We have to start from the source, from index 0. And from here we can go to either index 1, index 4, or index 5. In every case, the difference is in between target and minus target. If we decide to go to index 1, now we are here and we have a few choices again. We could go from 1 to 3, from 1 to 4, or from 1 to 5. So this is our decision tree. The maximum number of jumps to go from the source to the destination is given by the longest path to reach 5. We could take the path 0135 or the path 0145. In both scenarios, the number of jumps is 3. Now, instead of exploring every possible path, we can solve small subproblems and store those results to solve larger subproblems. This is dynamic programming. So let's see how this works. We will have a DP array of length n where every value is initially -1. You will see why in a few seconds. The only exception here is index 0. We will say that this is 0. Why? Well, because each value here corresponds to the maximum number of jumps to reach the current index, and the maximum number of jumps to reach index 0 from the source is 0. So next we can continue with index 1, and we will say that here we have a shape pointer. So what do we put here? What's the maximum number of jumps to reach index 1? Well, for this we can go through previous indices, which means that we can have an I pointer and we are going through each index up to the shape pointer. So now we are looking at this scenario. We are checking if we can jump from this index to this index. Here the difference between these two numbers is 2, which is equal to the target. So we can do the jump. Now the question is, what do we put here? Well, remember what this means. This is the maximum number of jumps to reach index 1. So here we want to keep the maximum between what we already have and the maximum number of jumps to reach the previous index I plus 1 because of the current jump. 0 plus 1 is 1, which is greater than -1, so this is 1. Now J is here at index 2 and we do the same. We are trying previous indices with the I pointer. First, we are looking at this scenario. We can't go from index 0 to index 2 because the difference between these two numbers is 5 and 5 is greater than the target. So we have to continue and move the I pointer. This is the next scenario. The difference between these two numbers is 3, which is greater than the target, so this is not a valid jump, which means that we have to move the I pointer. Now I is equal to j, so we move the j pointer and reset I back to 0. And just to be clear, this -1 means that there's no way to go from the source to index 2. Remember that if we don't find the valid path, we have to return -1. Now we're looking at this scenario. The difference between these two numbers is 3, which is greater than the target, so we have to move the I pointer and this stays at -1. Next, we are here. The difference between the two numbers is 1, and 1 is in between 2 and -2, so this is a valid jump. Here we need to store the maximum between -1 and the value for the previous index 1 plus the value for the current jump. 1 plus 1 is 2, which is greater than -1, so this is 2. Now we are looking at this scenario. The difference between the two numbers is 2, which is in between target and minus target. So this jump is possible technically. The problem is that here we have a -1, which means that there's no way to go from the source to index 2. And if we can't go from index 0 to index 2, we don't care about whether we can go from 2 to 3. This is enough to know that we don't have a valid path, so this stays at 2. Next, we are looking at this scenario. The difference between the two numbers is 0, so we are in range, which means that this is a valid jump. So here we store the maximum between -1 and 0 plus 1 because of this jump. The maximum is 1, so this is 1. Now we are looking at this scenario. The difference between the two numbers is 2, which is in between 2 and -2, so this is a valid jump. Here we need to keep the maximum between what we already have, 1, and the value at index I, 1 plus this jump. 1 plus 1 is 2, which is greater than 1, so this is 2. Next we are here. This difference is greater than the target, so we continue. Next here, the difference is greater than the target also, so we continue. Then we are here, and the difference between these two numbers is 1. This is in between 2 and -2, so this is a valid jump. Here we keep the maximum between -1 and 0 plus 1, so this is now 1. Next we are here, the difference is 1, so we are good to go, which means that here we keep the maximum between 1 and 1 plus 1, so this is 2. Then we are here, the difference between 6 and 2 is 4, which is greater than the target, so we continue. Next we are here, and the difference between these two numbers is 2, which is in between target and minus target, so this is a valid jump. Here we keep the maximum between 2 and 2 plus the current jump. 3 is greater than 2, so this is 3. Finally, here the difference between the two numbers is 1, which is in between 2 and -2, so this is a valid jump, which means that here we keep the maximum between 3 and 2 plus 1, so this stays at 3. Now j is out of bounds, so we end the loop here, and the maximum number of jumps to go from the source to the destination is right here, it's 3. So this is the result. Time complexity for this approach is big O of n squared. Why? Well, because we are using two pointers, I and j, which means that we are using a nested for loop. This requires big O of n squared, and space complexity is big O of n because of this DP array. So with this in mind, now let's see how to code this up. First, we can say that n is the length of nums, and we have a DP array, which is an array with -1 times n. We will say that dp0 is equal to 0, because remember that the maximum number of jumps to go from the source to the source is 0. Now, we can have a nested for loop, so for every j in range n, we have to go through previous indices, so for every I in range j, every time we check if dpi is different from -1, meaning if we have a way to go from the source to I, and minus target is smaller or equal to nums j minus nums I, this is smaller or equal to target, which means that if the difference between the current pair is in between target and minus target, this is exactly the same to what we did seconds ago. We can say dpj is equal to the maximum between what we already have here, dpj, and dpi plus the current valid jump. And that's it. Finally, the result is in dp at -1. So this is the entire code. Let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.